Hey travel lovers, welcome back to A Wanderlust for Life here on YouTube, and today I'm going to take you to another part of Amsterdam Noord, to an area called NDSM. So let's go exploring. Welcome to NDSM in Amsterdam Noord. If you didn't check out the last vlog of Amsterdam North, I will leave a link above and down below just for you to check out. But what is NDSM anyway? Just a bunch of letters? No, it is named after the docking and shipping company that used to dominate this area, but now that's no longer in use. It's a haven for creatives and students, and there is so much to get into up here. So I'm going to show you all the fun things to do and awesome places to eat up here. And it's really, really easy to get to. You just take a free ferry from Amsterdam Central Station and you're literally right here. But before we get into that, please give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already so you can see more Amsterdam and more European travel videos. A lot of the street art is right behind me, so you'll see this arch and there's a ton of shipping containers in there. There's spaces where people can like paint on the walls. And I just found a guy who let us film him. He was so nice. He was writing his son's name and he lives in the neighborhood. He does this pretty frequently and it's just so cool. There's going to be the first indoor street art museum up here. I'm not sure when it's supposed to open, but it will be in this area as well. But it's just so cool to come up here because I also ran into a photographer who also lives up here, and he comes by about every 3 months because the art keeps changing. So I don't know the story behind a lot of the pieces of art that we have here, but I know behind me this is the former mayor of Amsterdam who died of an illness, and he was beloved, and it was such a sad day when he passed away. This was very recently, and the city went into mourning, and this is to, yeah, honor him. It's just, you know, street art has meaning, right? It's not just graffiti, and I think that's such an important detail. Like, you can take tours up here. I'll leave some links down below if you want to take a tour up here. The name NDSM, you know what I've already explained to you, it was all in this building behind me. You can even still see the letters across the top with the Dutch words for it. So inside this building now is a bunch of artists have like these containers, and they're each their studio. So it's artists, it's craftspeople, it's a lot of different kinds of creative people in there, and it's just big warehouse with all these shipping containers at our offices now. It's super cool. Like, I love how they repurpose this area. And in this area as well, you may or may not have heard of Holland. It's the biggest flea market in Europe, and it takes over basically this entire space. And it's indoor, it's outdoor. Holland is once a month. You pay about €5 to get in, and then really anybody can sell anything. And sometimes it's outdoors. We've been, when it's kind of been sprinkling, not ideal when it's outside, but there's just so much space up here. Like, you can see the vastness of this area. It's so cool. If you're looking for a quirky place to stay, you can stay at the Botel. It is a boat and it's a hotel, and the letters on top you can actually sleep in. Like, I think that's pretty cool. And you're right next to the ferry, so easy, quick access to the center. So here's the dock for the shipbuilding company. There's the crane, and Central Station's over there. You can kind of see it. So we're still by the dock area, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about this crane. So it is now a luxury 3-suite hotel. It used to be Harbor Crane number 13, and now you can stay there for about €600 a night, but there's a jacuzzi at the top, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, this whole area is just huge. There's festivals here a lot. I mean, like, the things to do here in NDSM are just like really cool things to see, walk around, ride your bike, stuff like that. I think it's pretty darn awesome. Oh, and I think you can go bungee jumping off the end of the crane. No, just no. Would you do that? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know, would you do that? Another interesting thing about this area is there are some tram cars, there are some other things that I think people live in, like squat style. Yeah, and they just do. People know it, nobody cares. There is going to be loads in NDSM that you wouldn't have even thought of, including lots of like design shops, vintage shops and stuff like that. Behind me we have one. There's a whole bunch of them. There's also a whole bunch of ships you can walk by and just look at. I don't know, it's just such a unique place. Like I said, because there's so much space, there's more opportunity to do stuff like this, which I think is awesome. Yeah, I just love this area. You're in Nord and you're getting munchy. One of the favorites up here is I Canteen, which is right behind me. It's right next to the ferry. There's the ferry stop. And there's I Canteen. There's also the Veronica boat that has an awesome little terrace out there, but there's more. If you're looking for steaks with a great view, head over to Locha. It is a quick walk from the ferry and they have excellent prices. Norderlicht is a neighborhood favorite. It is housed in this greenhouse, has quirky furniture, is on the waterfront, and it focuses on organic and whole foods. It's a perfect escape from the city. Plaque is another hot spot during the summertime. They have like this little beach area outside the terrace. It's made from these shipping containers. The inside is, oh, it's so cool, and the food is so good. This place is packed on a beautiful sunny day. Probably my favorite restaurant is Cannibal Royale here in Nord. They specialize in like burgers and ribs, and they have the best fries and sweet potato fries. So if you're looking for something a little heavier, this is definitely the place to go. It has a humongous inside and a nice but small terrace on the outside, but still worth a go if you want a burger. And that is going to wrap up this guide to NDSM here in Amsterdam. I hope you loved learning about a new part of the city that hopefully you will discover when you visit. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let us know down below which of these things you would like to do most when you visit this area, and we will see you in the next video. Bye guys!